I'm from Nanka, a town in Orumba North, Anambra State, Nigeria. When I came into this country first, I didn't have any certificate because remember, I didn't finish my teacher's training. But I was doing cleaning job and I was getting £1 an hour. But I was doing it with satisfaction.
Hello there. You are welcome. To another community beat. Community beats the heartbeat of community. A UK-based multimedia producer with focuses on community initiatives and newsworthy activities with beneficial impact to the community. We promote genuine businesses, services, and community events. My name is Femi Ikutino, and with me tonight is
Veronica Olabisi Obadara. Good evening, everybody. How are you? Well, if that's the time in your part of the world. This is Community Beats, and you have just seen that short clip. That is the wonderful woman we're hosting on this platform this evening. It's our birthday week, a special week for Community Beats. Femi and myself. This wonderful woman who is our guest today, we have heard some stories about her. Some of us, we do know her. We call her Auntie Kate. You are going to hear more about her journey, her political career, motherhood, and everything in between as we go on the show. So don't go away. If you are watching now, we are on Facebook at the moment, live at Community Beats, and YouTube as we speak, the Community Beat underscore.
Yeah, before we bring in our guest, we have a few news to you. Nigerians are doing great in their different fields. What comes to our news and attract community beats is Pastor Peters Omaragbon, the executive president, CEO, Nurses Across the Board International. This is a doctor who resides in UK and traveled to Nigeria to organize an event. So it caught our attention. I will need to read out to you. He has made a clarion call for the organization of a National Health Forum on Climate Change. Pastor Omaragbon made a statement while delivering a paper at the Federal University of Petroleum Resources Center for Sustainable Development. It was held in Efuru, Delta State, Nigeria. You could pick up more of this information on authoritynigeria.com. The theme of the event was climate change and energy transition, pain or gain. The emphasis on how we have to give more on climate change, and then the paper, a lot of information are there, but we want to direct you to the source. But just a quick one, who is Pastor Omaragbon? He is the first designated contact person from Nigeria to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. He said the aim of such forum would be to bring together all relevant stakeholders from organized agencies, UN entities, the private sectors, religious bodies, and the civil society groups to help formulate policies that would aid in reviewing and developing an appropriate national adaptation and mitigation plan. So we invite you to get more information on authority.ngr.com. Yeah, that's it for the news.
Yeah, so that news is actually talking about how climate change will affect our health. And I realize that in Africa, we are not really looking into that seriously. In fact, we are not talking about climate change and how it will affect all of us as humans. So I think that is a very good call. We need to call out our government on that as well. It's not going to be just the private individuals running that show. The government really need to wake up. That is the government of Nigeria. Really need to wake up and enlighten people more about how our lifestyle and the choices we are making now will affect the climate and thereby affect us, affect our living as human beings eventually. So we'll bring you more news about that later on. So we have events coming up in the community as well. I haven't got that other news. The next one I have is the events coming up in the community. If we can do that quickly.
Yeah, just to announce to you all the events that is slated for us from the month of May up to towards the end of the year, we have got a lot of events lined up for us. The first that come to our mind is Iowa Women's League UK, which comes up next week, 4th of May, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. This event will be venue is Whitmore Range Working Men's Social Club, WV60QN. Please have that in your diary, and then you pay the ticket. You make your payments to their accounts, AWLUK accounts, Iowa Women's League. For more information, you call these numbers 01902 831656. I repeat, 01902 831656. Then the number that goes direct to the planner, the welfare director, is 077 131 25981. I repeat again, to the welfare director, the personality in charge of organizing this event is 077 131 2598. That's Iowa Women's League UK AGM for this year 2024. Then the next is Mazi Abe and Mama Fela. You don't want to miss this event. While we're coming back from returning back from Wolverhampton, the next place to be is at Mazi Abe and Mama Fela. This on Easter, a bank holiday weekend with Mazi and friends on Sunday, 5th May 2024. It starts from 6 p.m. 2 a.m. I've been there before. You don't want to miss it. It's an all event that have a lot of packages that you don't want to miss. Table reservation, please go to the eventbrite.com, and then you see how you could buy your ticket, or better still, there's a WhatsApp number 079-357-43167. That's Mazi Abe and friends, and the venue is on your screen.
Yes, Teresa John Boat, King George V Dock, London. You all know where Mazi Abe holds his event anyway. And the next one?
Next one is Powerhouse Global Leadership Summit Award. This is an event slated for one of our powerful ladies in our community. This event promises whereby speakers and delegates from around the world. There's a room for networking, workshop, exhibition, panel sessions, magazine features, entertainment, awards, food and drink. For more information, please visit www.powerhouseglobalstar.com. The event is slated for 7th to 9th May 2024.
Okay, and the next one?
The next one is Women for Africa. At this time, you have 10 tickets to win. There are questions out there for you to answer. 2 questions which I can answer, but we leave it to to you to answer. But better still, the event is a 2-day event, May 10th and May 11th. That's the event.
Yeah.
So that we want you is to commemorate their 10th anniversary, and then that's why the 2 events are put together. The first one on 10th May, Friday, starts from 11 to 4, and its venue is NatWest Conference Center, 250 Bishop Gate, London, EC2M 4AA. The second event on Saturday, 11th of May, is slated for Leonardo Hotel, St. Paul's. That's where the award proper will be presented.
So the first event, which is the empowerment evening, is designed to inspire and elevate, according to the organizers of this event. And attendees will have the unique opportunity to hear from Mrs. Tola Onigbanjo, who is the co-founder of Women for Africa. And the theme is pursuing your dreams and staying visible as a woman in 2024. So herself and other, influential women leaders will be talking to us. So you can win tickets, like we said, and just 10 tickets are up for grabs. People can visit the website, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can visit their website, to know more. Women for Africa. Just go to that website. All the information you need will be there. You can call Tola on for more information.
Then also send your answers to info@womenforafrica.com.
So what are the questions? I thought we have the questions now. What is the smallest country in Africa?
And what year was Women for Africa founded? Those two questions, so simple. So send your answers to info@womenforafrica.com, and then you might be a beneficiary of those one of those 10 tickets.
Announcement is by Team Women for Africa. That is their special announcement. We are just reading out the announcements to you. So which is the next one we have? Do we have any new event? I think we have another new event that just came in. This is the 10th anniversary of the Miss Adama pageant. It's dinner, dance, and award ceremony slated for September 28th, 2024. So that's still a bit far away. We will bring you more information about this event next week, by the grace of God. We are going to maybe bring one of the organizers to talk more about this beauty pageant coming up in September. But you can just mark your diaries. 28th September 2024 is Miss Adama pageant. Okay, so you are watching Community Beat. This is the heartbeat of the community. It's still very new and the days are young, but you know, we are getting there bit by bit. Our intention is to bring you newsworthy items, you know, events happening in the community, genuine businesses and services in the community. So we try to interact with people first to, you know, fill the beat. We try to use services first so that we are talking about authentic service to you. And so, yes, we also bring guests that we call agents of positive change to share maybe their stories with you, or, you know, their career journeys, just something to inspire you and to help you to carry on.
So we have something from Peterborough.
Oh yeah, we shouldn't forget that. Someone is going to be angry with us. Someone is going to be really, really angry with us. I'm not sure I have the flyer. That is Mr. Azu's event coming up.
Azu, his company, Cllr and Maja, organizes the first ever agribusiness and agri-tech summit fair in Peterborough. Wow, I think that's an event we do want to miss.
No.
It's an event that comprises different dignitaries, and then ambassadors are there. This event will be taking place, but you need to register at www.cllrandmajaconsult.com. We'll keep unfolding as the event comes in, information more comes in, we'll let you know on this platform. But you need to be there because it's a different event this time.
Okay, so this program, Community Beats, is powered by Nature Faithfuls. We must not forget to mention that. Nature Faithfuls, they are the producers of that natural skincare product that everybody is testifying about at the moment. And we also have the Nature Faithful consumables that we are going to introduce to you very soon. And of course, no mosquito. That is the mosquito repellent that we also introduced to you. So this program is powered by this wonderful products.
Nature Faithfuls.
Okay, so now we are going to bring in our guest. But I'm going to play video once more. There's that video that I played in. Put it specially, it's just a short one that we put together specially.
I'm from Nanka, a town in Orumba North, Anambra State, Nigeria. When I came into this country first, I didn't have any certificate because, remember, I didn't finish my teacher's training. But I was doing cleaning job and I was getting £1 an hour. But I was doing it with satisfaction.
So our agent of positive change this week on Community Debates is Nigerian-born British politician and also Councillor Kate Anolue, the Adajelumba Tulugo one of Nanka. I'm going to ask her if I pronounce that properly. And we affectionately call her Auntie Kate. Okay, let me just show her face now. Hello, Auntie Kate.
Hello, Femi. Hello, Veronica. First of all, I have to say, Veronica, you remind me of my mom because that's my mother's name. Yes.
Oh,
As soon as you say Veronica, I just became emotional because that's my
oh,
name. Yes.
bless you, Ma. Bless you. It's good to have you here.
Thank you so much.
I remember I interviewed you some years back when you were the mayor of Enfield.
I know
It was
it's
such a
ages
privilege
ago.
ages ago.
Yes.
I'm going to
But,
tell you a
and,
bit
by,
more.
and by the way, you did pronounce that name properly. Adajelum Batu.
Oh, that's right.
I've been
Yes,
practicing. Thank you very much, Ma. So, if you're just joining us, this is Councillor Kate Anolue. She is an agent of change, and we can say that with all of our mouths.
Yes.
She's done so much through her political career. She has done so much, even in her career as a midwife here in the United Kingdom, as a mother, and as community leader, and as our darling Auntie Kate as well. So we have a lot to say about her, but we just want to get to talk about her journey to becoming a politician here in the United Kingdom, her service to her community at Enfield, and then we want to talk about some of our charity initiatives as well. She is passionate about women, about youth. So we're going to be talking about some of the initiatives that she is running in those respects. Councillor Kate Anolue served as the mayor of Enfield, England, from 2012 to 2013, and again from 2019 to 2020, making her the first person from the Black ethnic minority to be a mayor twice. It's not easy. We want to know the trick, the magic, and how she managed to win the heart of the people of Enfield. Councillor Kate worked as a midwife at North Middlesex Hospital, London, for about 40 years. Her work in the community presented her the opportunity to work with vulnerable women and young people. And this ignited her enduring passion to add value to other people.
So on Community Beat this week, we are talking about our achievements, community initiatives, our passion for women and youth empowerment, and many more. So you are welcome once again, Honorable Councillor Kate Anolue.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure you must have told this story over and over again, to the media, to people. They want to know, where exactly are you from? How did you move from Nigeria to the United Kingdom, settling down, the jobs you've done, but we still have to ask that question again.
Yeah, that's fine. Yes, I don't know where to start. Probably just to say that I came into England here, UK, to join my husband, to my late husband, who was here, you know, before the Civil War. So, after that, I joined him here, and obviously my education was, interrupted as well. Hence, in that clip, I said I came here without any certificate, and that is right because I was in teachers training, Akwanga, which is in North. I was born and brought up in Jos, so that's where my parents lived, and that's where all my siblings were born except one. And we came back, and I couldn't go back to continue with my teachers training until after the Civil War. However, when I went back, I was engaged. I was kind of betrothed, I would say. In those days, families get to know, where there are young girls growing up, and if your parents are friends to another family, they keep
Mm.
an eye on their children, who's growing up, who's the women, the girls, and then when they turn, are teenagers, and so forth. So my father, a very good friend of his, late as well, from Anole's family. I just came on holiday to my cousin in Enugu State, and then he just saw me and said, "Oh, That's Fidelis. That's my late father's name, Fidelis' daughter. I've got my uncle's son in UK, and I want her to be married to her. That's it. And
Hmm.
nobody asked me anything. That's all it just started. So as far as the concerned, before you know it, I kind of dowry and everything was done. I'm still
Wow.
in my very early teenage years, and then so my life again began. I kind of found myself a young girl who is also married, but
Hmm.
living with her parents. So my movement were restricted because I've got to be seen to be very,
Responsible.
prim and proper, because you see yourself as a married
Married to.
girl, although you're still with your parents. But that's how it goes in those days, and unfortunately, that when the war came and we came back to the east, there was nothing much we can do any. But again, I couldn't do anything. I'm still kind of doing the little things that can help my parents and my siblings to survive the civil war. I was doing petty trading. So I think my life has been from the beginning, from the word go. I've been like a teenage mother, a young mother, a young carer, a young leader, everything that you can think about. I think for
Hmm.
me, I've experienced that. However, maybe that's what made me more stronger, and I think some of them come from my mother as well. My mother is a very quiet, humble, but a strong woman, a strong leader in the community. So I think I pick up a lot of my, whatever we can call it, from my mother.
Yes. Amazing. Okay, now, so now you're in the United Kingdom, you've come, you've arrived, you've started, education somehow to improve yourself. So we are just fast forwarding to that point in time when you have become a midwife. And you also mentioned in one of your books, the autobiography, that you also studied law. Having gone through all of that, what attracted you to politics? Or how did you get into politics?
I probably go back to say, to start with, I went into nursing because that's actually what my dad, my late dad, is actually the person that wanted me to be a nurse. And he is someone who believes in gender equality. So he
Hmm.
actually gave me everything that my brothers, think about it. I've got 5 brothers, and they still want to train me, and that's because he believed in gender equality. However, as I was coming over to England, he did say to my husband's family, as well as obviously my husband here, he said, I want her to be a nurse. Once she's a nurse, that's all I want. The reason why I wanted her to start with teachers training is because I find that they are more educated than those going to secondary school. This is my dad who didn't go to any of them, but he
Wow.
knows the difference. He said they study more. So when I came over here in England, I said to my husband, and I said, oh, my dad wants me to be a nurse. He said, oh yeah, I've already been told by my uncle. So, you know, that's what you're going to try and see if we can get into a nursing school.
Hmm.
And then Nigerian education is fantastic. I mean, I came here, I was given exams, and I passed them quite straight away. And it shows you how our education was in those days. So
Yeah.
I got into nursing. But I got into the first school that I applied, that is North Middlesex University Hospital. But amazing, almost like I came into the country, 10 months after I came into the country, I had a baby already. So now I've got to start nursing with a child. But,
Oh.
you know, everything is it's just kind of sitting down, myself and my husband sitting down, and two of us working together, and they're helping one another, and finding where can he help me to achieve, and where can I help him to also be the husband that he is, to be able to run the family. And I think this
Hmm.
is what is very, very important, that two people, when you're together, you must work together. If you do
As a
together,
team.
you will achieve whatever you want to achieve. So I was able to have my child, and at the same time got into a nursing training. And at North Middlesex, I did my 3 years teachers training. I mean, I did my 3 years nursing training, and then I immediately applied after 1 year working in intensive care unit. I applied, to do my midwifery, which was 18 months. So while I was doing my midwifery, training, in fact, the day I was writing my exam, I was already about 2 or 3 months pregnant for my second child. So I
Wow.
was being a mother, I was being a wife, I was being a student, and so forth. So I've always juggled. But
Hmm.
when you juggle with satisfaction and you believe in yourself, you can do it. And I think one important thing that we must all do is whatever you want to do, believe that you can achieve it, believe that you can do it. Don't ever doubt yourself, because every single one of us in this life, we have got a unique, a unique something that God has given to us, but it's for you to find it out,
All
and you
right.
can find it out if you trust and believe in yourself. And I think this is what I did. I
Hmm.
believed in myself, I trusted myself that I can do it, and hence I got that. I did that exam and I passed the exam. So within 4 years that I came into the country, I had two children and I had two certificates.
Hmm.
And I think, that is kind of something that I've always thanked God for, because it's like God knows exactly what is in future for me, knowing fully well that I probably end up bringing my children alone.
It's a long
Hence,
period.
that certificate that has helped me to keep in a good job.
Wow.
So I think I must at the same time praise God for that, because being married within 13, I had a 13 years of marriage, good marriage, and that 13 years I had 4 kids, and within after that 13 years I lost my husband. So really, I brought up the 4 children myself, and the youngest one was only 18 months old when my husband passed on. So
Wow.
I had 18 months, 5-year old, 9-year old, and a 12-year-old.
Wow.
I don't mind doing my interview. I like to do these interviews for the single mothers, for
Hmm.
women who find themselves alone, to say, in as much as you've got those children and you find yourself alone bringing them up, don't despair, because it's always said, God never gives you something that you cannot carry.
Yeah.
There's always a shoulder there for you to be able to carry that load. So I believed that God has given me the shoulder to be able to carry this luggage. It's heavy, but yet He's giving me that very strong shoulder to carry it. Hence, I had to move on with it, because I asked myself, do I get myself strong and move on? Or do I now end up sitting at home and probably end up with the children become orphans? And I said to myself, no, this is what I should be doing. And then, you know, get on with it. And another thing is having great people that you work with. I had wonderful people that I work with at work, and I had what you call great friends. I have absolutely wonderful friends. And whatever I do interviews, I never forget them, because without them, I will never be able to cope. I had, my parents, who some of them, they had teenage children, and their teenage children came to help me to look after the, kids, when I'm at work, because I went back to work after maybe about 3 months or 4 months. I went back to work. We started on a part-time basis. So it was during that work, the questions that people asked me that gradually got me into politics.
Wow. Auntie Kate, I'm hearing this in detail for the first time. I've always wondered those days, how did she manage? Because I found myself becoming a single mother as well. It wasn't something I planned for my life. And, for me, along the way, I gave up. I thought, this is not what I planned. When I was in Nigeria, I was more or less a star. And I came to this country and became like a nobody. And then my marriage went the way it went. For me, Auntie Kate, I gave up along the way. But thank God, for wonderful people that God brought into my life. I call them destiny helpers, that helped me to rise up and to start growing. It's not easy. And I like what you mentioned along there, that if you find yourself, becoming a good single mother, don't despair. dust yourself, carry on, things will be better. At the end of the day, the kids are no longer kids now. My first one, my Samson is 31 now. You know, looking back, it was like a load, but I thank God and thank you for sharing that, bit with
Yeah,
us.
I think what we've just done is to knock off any form of pity party in the
Mm,
journey of life that we have to just give ourselves head on.
yeah.
And then my next question is I'm just trying to jump over.
Yeah. Please do.
Looking back to your tenure as a first citizen of Enfield Borough, a lone parent, a lawyer, how are you able to juggle your responsibilities, especially your role as a mother? And how did you manage through that journey?
I think once again, I must always go back to always saying that you must trust yourself, you must believe in yourself, and you must at every time you continue to. It's like working, doing addition and subtraction. You must always continue to do that, and also you have been fashioned, to be who you're going to be,
Mm,
no matter, and it doesn't matter what comes across your face, that
mm,
thing that you've been destined to be,
mm,
nothing is going to stop you from being that. It might be delayed, but you will still achieve it.
mm,
When I lost my husband, there are other things that I wanted to do, which has always been in my workbook, I'll call it. I've always wanted to be a lawyer. My father wanted me to be a nurse. That's what my father wanted me to
mm,
be. But what about Auntie Kate? What do I really want to be myself? And all the whole time I wanted to be a lawyer. And then I even made my children, the first one, I made her to study law, to her A levels law, to degree law. But again, it's not what she wanted, so she's gone
uh,
into corporate. And then my brother, I said, I want you to be study law. He carried on studied law, but fortunately, it was what he wanted to do as well. That he's a barrister now, but I still haven't done it. But this is for me. How do I get it done? And I thought, oh, these children, I can't do it. However, I've always got behind me. I've always said that nothing is impossible, and that there is nothing is like I can't. And
mm,
this is why, at a point in my midwifery, especially when my youngest one now, who was 18 months then, when she turned 8 years old, when she can actually walk from school home, I thought, yes, myself, this is when
yeah.
I can actually do other things that I wanted to do for myself. And this is when I decided to apply to study law. I applied at University of North London. They looked at me, and that is as an mature student. They looked at my resume. I got everything, but they think, how can this lady with 4 children
Mm,
and no husband, and then she's working full time as a midwife? She can't do it. It's not possible. When they called me for interview, she said, "Oh, you've got all this. You're actually qualified. However, your hands are too busy. You will not be able to do it." I said, "Yes, I can."
mm,
And they said the only thing we can do is to send you home to think about it, and we'll call you back in about 2 weeks' time. And that's exactly what happened. They called me about 2 weeks' time, to see if I've changed my mind. I said, no, I haven't changed my mind. I can still do this course, and it's 5 years, but because of my other qualifications and as a mature student, it's turned, I can do it in 4 years. And after when they said that the lecturer said I'm not changing my mind, they decided, okay, you can go ahead. So I was, I was among the new students. And when I started, everybody wanted to know, how are you doing it? I
mm,
said, yes, I can do it. First of all, what I always say to people, make sure no matter what in life, always have some good friends. Friends that you can trust, and friends that can trust you, friends that are not friends that are going to envy you, or you envying them. So let them support you, support them. And that's what I have. I have a very good friend. May her soul rest in peace. I've lost her now, she's gone. But anything I say, I must mention her name. Her name is Blossom. May her soul rest in peace. Blossom is the only one. I said to her, I said, listen, I've been admitted to do part-time, evening classes for law degree. She said, oh yes, that's great, kid, that's fine. What do you want me to do? I said, with our midwifery, sometimes I end up delivering baby at the last minute. She said, "You just tell me what days are your classes?" I said, "Monday evenings and Wednesday evenings." He said, "Right." I make sure they don't give me a late shift so that if you're working and you're caught up with someone in push delivering, she can come and take over. And I said this is fantastic. But do you know when God is on your side and you're doing something that is really meaningful, sometimes it guides you in a way that you can never believe. Do you know that throughout that 4 years, I never needed my plan B?
Wow.
Throughout 4 years, I never needed my plan B. I always finish work on time. Baby's coming. Sometimes, they're delivering maybe about 4 o'clock, and I'm there ready about to go off at 5. And someone else will come and say, "Auntie Kate, let me just finish." By then I'm Kate. "Let me finish just your notes for you." And they finish notes for me. And I still go back and that day without owing anybody time. So that's how I studied and then got couldn't believe it, still doing that full time. And it's full time midwifery, it's not part time. It's full time midwifery. It's part time, my law degree, and I got my certificate, and I made it 2-2 as well.
Wow.
So it's not even, I made it 2-2. And my studies were with the young people. This is where I developed that love for young people. And when I call them, say on a Friday and come in, I say study time, they will say, "Oh, we're running away from our mom. Now it's you." You know.
Yeah.
So I think it's just amazing. I get them, we study, we do all the questions and so forth together. So my love for the young people will never stop because I studied with them. It was their strength as well that helped me to get past my degree and got a good score, considering someone who's got 4 kids and who's working full time and then at the same time studying. I never told anybody what I was doing except that my friend. My brothers, I told them when I was in my third year. My brother couldn't believe me. And the rest of my head of midwifery, I didn't tell her. All I did was to take the certificate to her. She opened her mouth and closed. She opened her mouth and closed because she couldn't believe it. And then she said to me, "Is this mine?" I said, "Yes." And then she said, "Okay, I'll talk to you again later." And you know what talk to me later is? She actually had to go into my note in my file to see how many times I've taken time off and found out that I never took time off. So they couldn't believe it. I'm somebody God has blessed as well with good health as well.
Wow.
Never take a time off throughout that 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah, you know, I never needed my friend either to rescue me. So when something is there for you, don't be negative at all because 1% of negativity will just annul your 99% of positiveness. It will just go. So just be strong and believe that yes, it would happen, and it did happen. And that's how I got my law degree, studying full time, looking after 4 children. And I mean, my job full time is not a one that you go to the office and sit down. This is midwifery where you deliver babies,
Hands
so it's
on.
an active job. It's an active job, and I did that nursing midwifery. I did it for 40 years. 40 years I did it. And within that time that people ask me questions, they have an issue with environment, issue with housing, issue
Mm.
with social services, and issue with their state of living. And that's how occasionally I say, how do I go and find out about these questions? And that's how I found out that actually is the counselors. So by the time I went, asked me one time, 2 times, 3 times, the next time I said to myself, how did they become counselors? What did they do? And then I found out that yes, to be a counselor, you have to actually be a member of a party, a political party. Then I need to find out how do I become a member. So I found out their names, and then I look at their manifesto and their values, and I found out the value that I prefer, that of the Labour Party, and that's why I became. And then I come back and find which is my branch, where is their office, all these things. We still do that. That's the regular thing to do. So I did that, found out where the office is, and then went there and they registered myself. And then these days I tell to people, yes, please do that. You need to find out, be a member of any political party, but look at their beliefs and look at their values. That is very, very important.
Wow. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start the next question from because That was impossible. I mean, that is impossible. That's in my own thinking, to be honest, because I thought I went through full-time job, full-time mother as a lone parent, and full-time study. No, 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 Aunt Kate. I give it to you, ma. Congratulations, ma. That portion will also encourage a lot of people.
Yeah,
You are,
the study was part time, but it's almost like full time because I'm
I
always
mean,
studying. And then
yes,
my car was my wardrobe as well as my
you can
library, the book of
imagine.
my car.
Hmm. It's it, it's but it was not funny. I know it was not funny. I asked this question. From all of that, you went into politics, became a counselor, and did you ever dream that you become the first citizen of any part of the world? Did it ever cross your mind, when you came into politics, like, okay, I'm going this way because I know you're a goal-getter. I mean, did it ever cross your mind that you're going to become a mayor one day in the United Kingdom?
Never, never in my wildest dream.
Mm,
All I was going into politics to be a counselor is just to be able to answer and be able to signpost women at the right place when they ask me questions.
mm,
And I wanted to know what a counselor does, and if I can do that as well as my midwifery, and I didn't want to give up midwifery. Neither even when I got my law degree, I didn't want to give up midwifery either.
mm,
So then I asked myself, what did I do the
Lord.
law for? And I found out that it was my passion. However, I did make a very good use of it because I became the union rep for the midwives. And I was able to, when we have legal issues, I was able to look into where we made mistakes and so forth. I
Mm,
was able to support them, so I was their steward. And that was something that at least I made use of, and I was quite happy with that. But when it comes to being a first citizen, I never thought about that.
mm,
I admired, when even before went into politics, when I see the mayors, I admire them, even just the robe only. Just like my father said that he wanted me to be a nurse because he saw those robes that the nurses wear, so that, so just like myself, this is what attracted me, and but it didn't attract me in a way that I could be one, never ever. But when, because I got into politics, I became a councillor in 2002, which is a long time.
okay.
And I never think about it until almost 10 years. In fact, yes, almost 10 years. That's when I picked up the courage and said, I wonder if I can do it. I wonder
Mm,
if people will actually vote for me,
what's for
because the
you?
most important thing is people voting
People
for you.
accepting, yeah.
It's all right, you can think, yes, I want to
Mm,
be this, I want to
mm,
be that. But when it comes to being a councillor, you have to get
mm,
people to you have to elect
mm,
you, select you first, and then elect you. When it comes to mayor, you have to lobby your fellow
mm,
councillors, say you can do it, I can represent Enfield, I can do this, I can do that.
mm,
And I believe, because they actually think, yes, I can do it. Because I when I became, not even when I only when I became councillor, I was very active in the community. I've always been, and I work with the women, experiencing domestic abuse, and
mm,
sometimes you don't even know what you're doing. Hence, in 2007,
yeah.
Enfield, Enfield awarded me with freedom of the borough. So I've got freedom of the borough of Enfield.
So what does that
Which
mean in a nutshell?
in those days when it was really, when it was really, if when it's really well practiced, it says you can get into the pub and you can drink free. I don't drink, and you can go, you can, grace, you can do, you're small, like you're free to do, there are certain things that you're allowed, you can do,
Mm,
so, but obviously I don't drink, so for, but it's still something very big. It's
mm,
given to somebody who has achieved so much in the community, someone who has achieved really in the community. I was doing something that I like. I didn't even know that it makes any sense. Me, I'm just helping women who are experiencing domestic abuse. I'm just helping young people who probably want to, being having worked with the young people and having the young ones growing in my, I'm just helping them out and telling them things. I'm just seeing myself as a mother. I've always been like a surrogate mom, considering, you know, how I helped my parents to raise my young
Go on.
siblings.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you very much. Concern. I remember 11 years ago, I think, yeah, 11, April, towards the end of your tenure then, I came to your office with my publisher, African Winning Magazine. By then, I was a columnist of You Can Also Do It. And the one thing that triggers me then, even though I was still, triggered me then is that, and then now bring it to the fore, is you've accomplished a lot. You also tell us that we can do it if you can do it. You've accomplished a lot. You became two-time mayor. How you were able to win the diverse culture of citizens that live in your borough, and now you are still back to a councillor. After your mayor, what have we been up to? Especially, we want to tell us more about your initiative, Tender Care Health Initiative from for African, Caribbean, and Asian women in politics. We want you to tell us more because now we are now inspired as if she could do it. Councillor Anolue, former mayor, two-time mayor, we can also do it. We want you to tell us those initiatives and what can we learn, how can we partner, what can we do about these initiatives.
Yeah, I think when, yes, after I became mayor, after when I finished my tenure, I took some time off, which was like 4 years to be able, a term is 4 years, to be able to, start my charity and be able to nurture it as much as I can, and also be able to travel, to work with women, which I did. I traveled to India, to a lot of countries in Europe, and Nigeria as well. I was actually going to Nigeria almost about 3 times a year, just to work with women and work with other groups there. It says, when you learn something, you try to take it home, which I did. And then Tender Care Health Initiative was working mainly with women, experiencing domestic abuse, and I have volunteers who help as well, and then we do, at the present, I'm still, at present we have actually meetings every week actually, and we do have conference. During our conference, we try to do conferences during International Women Day, and then Women Month, because sometimes you can't do exactly on that age, and also in November, when it's November 25th, which is International Day for Elimination of Domestic Abuse Against Women and Girls. So we do have that. That's two conferences a year, and also the Forum for African, Caribbean, and Asian Women in Politics is to try to engage our ethnic members, women. Sometimes people think that politics belong to men only. It doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to anybody except all of us, because I believe that for the world to fare better, everybody must contribute, both male and female. So I'm encouraging women from those areas, ethnic minority, those areas, to join politics. And even if you don't want to be a politician, you can still be, kind of a leader. Leadership, is very, very important, because that would help. What it does is to help you to see what is happening within the country, so that you can also either add yours or see or listen to what is happening. It will help you to cater for your own family and your friends around. For example, encouraging people to be school governors. I'm a school governor of two schools, and that I've been doing that for over 30 years. And then the meetings, you attend meetings and you listen to what is happening. Listen to, you find out many things as a school governor. You find out many things. You find out about why our children are being suspended in school, especially, black children, the reason why, and then you can add your own voice, and you'll be able to even approach those parents as well, because sometimes they see you, they give them more hope. So I think it's very, very important, and to add to, making sure that the young people are recognized. During my last tenure as the mayor, I introduced in Enfield the young mayors. So now we have the young mayors as well, and they also, what they do is to be a role model to also the young people, and be the voice and the mouth of the young people that attend our meetings and tell us, the area which they really want us to focus on, maybe school, maybe housing, maybe environment, or employment. So I think it's being out there is just being all round for everybody.
Still talking about your achievements, Auntie Kate. To be elected mayor twice is a big deal in any borough in the United Kingdom. And of course, being a minority, an African woman, how did you win the heart of the people of Enfield? Wait till you give them chop.
I think I don't know, but I think I don't find any job too much,
Hmm,
and I don't find any. I can't say to you that I've been confronted with so, and I find it difficult to manage, or difficult to think how to cope with it. If I'm kind of walking on the road and I encounter difficulty, before I even talk about that difficulty, my mind has already set up immediately of what next I can do before I find out, oh yes, it's not actually, something
no problem.
difficult. So I think my approach to people, the way I talk to people, and I think it's so important as well. This is something that is very, very dear to me. The way we talk to people, the way we approach people, the way we carry ourselves as well. You see,
Hmm,
as far as you all keep talking about achievement, for me, I don't see any achievement in it. I just see it
hmm,
as doing the job that needs to be done.
hmm,
That is the way I see it. Last year I got into the Guinness Book of Record. Why? I don't know why I did it, but they're telling me that your job, the work you're doing, has been consistent for a very, very long time. It's not,
yes.
it's, you have been doing everything, and there's no kind of broken record. You keep carrying on non-stop. You will just find this, a lot. But for me, I don't see it as anything.
Hmm,
What I see is that a job needs to be done, and it must be done. And
hmm,
we have no demarcation. We have no demarcation to say that this is Caucasian, this is black, this is young,
hmm,
this is old. I think for everybody. And also, it's very, very important that we see ourselves as human, as alive, and don't keep saying you're old, you can't do it. There is
hmm,
nothing like that. Age is a number, as simple as that. As far as you are breathing, you're awake, you are part of the community, you're part of the world, and you must continue to do your own share until the Almighty Lord calls you.
wow.
And that is my way of thinking. Hence, all that put together makes me like a strong person who is prepared to do extra mileage, no matter what. And being able to talk to people, you are able to convince people. I've done a job before, and that job I did it, and I think I can still do it, and then you have to now think, can I trust her to give her that vote? And some
Hmm,
will say, oh yes, we trust her, we can give her that vote. She can do it very, very well before. So, I
Femi.
think it's just a matter of how you approach people and the way you speak as well.
Okay, Auntie Kate. So the Tender Care Health Initiative, what is that about?
Pardon?
Tender Care Health Initiative, one of your
I think it's,
projects.
it's breaking.
Oh, we are breaking. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Hello, Kate.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the Tender Care Health Initiatives,
I
one
can
of
hear
your
you, but we are breaking.
we're breaking. We can hear you clearly. We can hear you clearly.
Yeah.
You can hear now?
Can you hear us now?
Yeah. Maybe if I can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tender Care Health Initiative. Tender Care Health Initiative works. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Tender Care Health Initiative works with women experiencing domestic abuse and the vulnerable women as well. And maybe some women who have gone through, they are vulnerable. If you've gone through mental health, you're vulnerable, and we work with them
In
and
the
work with
United
them. And
Kingdom.
then, depending on their case, we've signposted them. Some of them I signpost them to the council. They've got a domestic abuse hub, and some of them, to Solace, other bigger organizations that can help them.
Okay. Okay. Somehow this is breaking, but we can still hear you. So don't worry. If you can hear us, just
Yeah.
reply. Just respond to us. We can hear you clearly. So we talk about your
Okay.
books as well. I came across your book, Kate Anolue, the autobiography, and Time for Purpose. Tell us briefly about Time for Purpose.
Okay, time for purpose. Kate Anolue, that's Auntie Kate, is someone who finds it difficult to be idle. When I say idle, being idle, I like to be busy. I like to be doing things. And when COVID came in, I was very upset. Especially the worst part of it is that they said people that are over 70 cannot come out. Other people are
Mm,
coming out, they're looking healthy and so forth. And I was talking indoors and I was very down, and I thought to myself, what is it that I can do now to keep me going, keep me busy, And that's when I thought, okay, maybe this is the time to do my second book. And my second book, it actually relates to my first book because after I wrote my first book, which is my autobiography, people are asking me, say, okay, you wrote this, but you haven't told us how you achieved it or how you did it. So if you have read Time for Purpose, it would be telling you, if it's like a workbook where I said to you, I've done this and this and that. What about you? How can you do it? Or
mm.
what do you think about it? Is there any other way you can do it? So it's like a workbook. So it relates to my autobiography, and that's how I coped with COVID.
That
That's what
period.
I did during COVID, and I thank God that that came up. The idea came up that I should. It's time to write a second book.
Amazing. Okay, we have to get that book.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. As we round up this session with you, Auntie Kate, we've read through your autobiography and looking through the timeline of your career and achievements. What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to remember you for?
I think the most important thing I want people to remember is that number one, never give up. Never give up. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, and always say that in this life you are time for a purpose, and that purpose you have achieved. And I think for me that is very, very important. And whatever degrees or whatever you things you get, don't let it change who you are. Humility is number one. People will raise you up when you be who you are. And this is why I prefer being called Anti-Case, because with all those accolades behind me, doctor this and that, they're not me. Myself is Anti-Kate, and that's me. And that's what I want to be remembered as Anti-Kate, who wants people not to give up. Keep to what you believe in, especially believe in yourself, love yourself, and be happy with yourself, who you are. And if you're happy with yourself, everybody around you will be happy, because a smiling face will always have that aura that will be around you all the time. Thank you.
Amazing.
Amazing, amazing. We are forever grateful to have you on our show this evening, Auntie Kate. Yeah,
Our darling Auntie Kate.
exactly. We
So
have been educated, and I
yeah,
know our viewers also will have taken one or two things that, wow, okay, I've been lacking in this area. What I had today, I'm going to put my effort and then
Thank
add more
you.
value to what I
Yeah.
do. Thank you very much, Auntie Kate.
So Kate Anolue, the autobiography is available on Amazon. That's where we go.
Both,
You
yeah,
can get
both of them are available on Amazon and Weststone as well.
and with a stone.
Yes,
With a stone.
yes.
So yes, people, if you want to lay your hands on that, we'll continue to remind people about it because I think people need to read your autobiography. And now, time for purpose, we need to get that as well, so that we'll have the balance. You see, if maybe if I had read Time for Purpose, I would not be asking certain questions. I would just be throwing them, throwing them out.
That is correct. That is correct. And what I want to continue, I just love, because no matter what happens.
Oh no.
Network.
Oh, are we limited to 1 hour? We've done 1 hour.
Oh, Auntie Kate. All right. So it's just the tail end of the show, tail end of her question. But it's been wonderful. If you have been watching this program, I'm sure you will have picked some nuggets on how to go on, even if things are challenging. So you can't say things are challenging, that's why I didn't achieve. Oh, I have challenges in my life. Oh, I'm a single parent, I'm a lone parent, that's why I didn't achieve. You can't say that because it is doable. You can achieve. And to get this back, we just want you to we want to round off properly with you. So, hello, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yep.
Okay, so Auntie Kate, just before we release you, for that woman or man out there who is a lone parent, what would be your nugget for them to carry on?
What would be my?
Your nugget, your word of
Sorry,
advice.
can you? Is keep breaking? Can you?
What would be your
Oh
word?
yes, my word of advice is never give up.
Yep.
Thank you very much. So
Thank
thank
My
you,
you.
word
Auntie
of advice
That was
to,
that. Right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, my word of advice to the single parents, whether you're a man or a woman, please don't give up. It is something that is being given to you by God to bring up the children alone. So don't give up. Be positive about yourself and believe and trust in yourself.
Man,
Thank you very much, Auntie
thank you
Kate.
very
It's
much,
so
man.
lovely to have you here.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for honoring
Thank
us.
you so much for inviting me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for everybody that is listening. Thank you so much. Bless you all.
Bless
Yes,
you, man.
thank you. We started on a good note. I was also running off with Auntie Kate on a good note. She said, and I quote, never give up.
Yep.
If she can do it, you can also do it. So thank you for being with us. The session with Auntie Kate. You know who she is. I'm telling you, she's a loaded. She's an encomium in herself. Whereby we need to emulate. She's a record breaker, so to say. Yeah, you might not find out what to link to her, but I can tell you she's a record breaker because she there's no glass ceiling whatever she has done so far. And then I know that we can also achieve. As soon as God drops that in your mind, those thoughts in your mind place, you run with it. And then you look back, you're backwards, wow, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I was able to achieve this. Yeah. Thank you for giving us your time. My name is Femi Kutini once again. As we're signing out at this session, V.O.O.
Yes, so that was our agent of positive change this week, Auntie Kate Anolue, who has been a two-time mayor in the United Kingdom. Yes, she can do it. We can do it. We all can do it. But
Yeah.
I know it's not bread and butter.
Yes.
So you have to be organized, you have to be dedicated, and you have to have tenacity as well. And most importantly, I picked another thing that she said: you have to have good friends and around you. Be a
very
good
important.
friend and then have good friends around you, because you will need, some hands to help you to carry on. And don't forget her books, Kate Anolue, the autobiography, and Time for Purpose are available on Amazon and
Weatherstone.
Weatherstone. And before we go, because it's our birthday week and we have been announcing that certain people will win certain things if we do certain things, Well, not so many people responded to that. Maybe you didn't get to hear. But two wonderful people who have been staying and tuning to us, who have been supporting us, are this wonderful lady, Rafiat Olayinka Mobolaji. She's based in Nigeria, and she's the one that is getting the 10,000 pounds. I mean, pounds.
10,000 naira.
10,000 naira pounds. I wish 10,000 naira birthday gift from us. It's our gift, you know. And of course, we have Hazel as well. Hazel Hill. Somehow she's not here today. She's always with us on the show, and she has one for herself, Nature Faithful's products. The complete set of Nature Faithful's products, which will be sending out to her tomorrow. Rafiat Olayinka Mobolaji will be sending her 10,000 naira gift to her also tomorrow, by the grace of God. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
I am Veronica Olabisi Obadara. Thank you all so much for your birthday greetings, prayers, gifts, phone calls, video calls, and everything. I mean, you have bombarded me with love today. I feel so loved. You feel so loved. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you. See you next time. Bye.
I'm from Nanka, a town in Orumba North, Anambra State, Nigeria. When I came into this country first, I didn't have any certificate because remember, I didn't finish my teacher's training, but I was doing cleaning job and I was getting £1 an hour. But I was doing it with satisfaction.